So this week, in my next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to model for games. Well, it's probably going to be a sequence of tutorials, but yes, I'm going to be showing you how to model for games and create tileable, let's pull this up so you can see tileable things like this. It's tileable wall piece. You can just keep dragging it back and forth. Right now I'm just going to show you the model. This week I'm just going to show you modeling. Next week I'll probably get into the UV unwrapping and stuff like that. But here's just some things I've created in the past months since I've been working on a game for school. This is kind of a city in the game, so yeah. I haven't had too much practice, but I have had a lot. And anyways, yeah, so let's get started. Set my scene. So first I'm just going to go over a few things you need to know for doing games. You need to keep them low poly. It's necessary. Most things that you can do, see here, will show you something. First we have a box. And really we just want to chamfer on the edge, let's say. So we'll convert to enable poly. And do these two things. Okay, this not going to work. We'll just have to do this. Chamfer them. As you can see, chamfer with one. That gives us a bit of a nice edge. The rest of that can be finished with texturing, if we really want to get a nice smooth edge. And we're left with a lot fewer polygons than if we actually added all the sides and turbo smoothed it out and then did that. So let's do another one with turbo smooth and how I would normally do it in a high poly render. Connect. These things are just examples. I'm going to teach you how to make like a little house. At least I think a little house. A little house, a barrel, and a rock wall like that. Just some quick little things. And then we'll bring these, connect those. Bring these, connect these. And then turn on the turbo. As you can see, this has many more polygons than this. However, they almost, like, the difference in the edges is not worth the extra amount of polygons that you have to put into it. This has probably 4 or 5 times the amount of polygons. This has the default. It has 6 around 6 and then 8. So it's 14. This has 14 probably just here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, exactly. So keep your polygon counts low, especially for smaller games and stuff. You can fix it up in materials and stuff like that. So let's start doing some modeling. First, what I like to do, because usually when you're doing games you have polygon budgets, so how many polygons you're allowed to do. So I like to turn on my statistics up in my left hand view so I know how many I have. So click on this realistic edge faces. If you're in anything past 2010, it'll just say edge faces, I think, like behind 2010, like 2010, 2009, 2008 and stuff like that. So we'll just configure that. You configure, go into statistics, and go application statistics and apps to view, and total in selection. And apply it, and you go OK. So now we have our polygon count. As you can see, it tells me I have 12 polygons, 8 vertices. I don't know how I have 12 polygons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9. Oh, that's just strange. That box should only have 6 polygons. Oh, I see what's happening. Counting each normal. It's counting this inside one as a polygon too. Let's see if I convert to enable poly. It just knocks it back down to 6. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's counting that inside polygon as 2, like 1 on either side. That's what I was counting as 2 as well. Oh, repeat. So let's create some things. First, let's create a house. So I like doing is putting a biped in just to see like the size, like for a ratio and stuff, because I usually create in inches. So actually, let's first set that up. Customize unit setup, and use standard decimal inches, just like that. And then to get this biped, you go under Create, Systems, Biped, and then just click and drag it up. And I will make it to 5'8", no 5'10", 70 inches. So about 70 inches. And select all this, group. This is a rig, but it does give proportions very well. And we don't always have to use it for a rig, so we'll just do that. So first what we'll do is create a barrel, and let's do that. It's a nice easy thing to do. Let's go under our cylinder, drag out the cylinder, drag it up to about that high. Nice little barrel height. And now let's drop these down. 18 edges, that might be a bit too many, but we do want them divisible by 4. So we'll go down to 16. As we said, polygon counts matter. See, we're already at 64 polygons. But when we convert to Napa poly, it'll be half that. So 18. A lot less, more than half that. Well, we drop down to 18 polygons. And really, you can't tell the difference between that. And actually, I should cancel this out and undo this a few times before I show you the comparison. You can't tell the difference between that and that. Like, one does have more polygons, but with textures in it, you won't be able to tell the difference. So we'll move that one out, leave our 16 one, and radius of 12, height of 36. Convert to Napa poly, and turn on F4 to see my wireframe like this. Connect this around, so it's just going to be like a barrel that explodes outwards a bit. So we're going to do 3 segments. Select the vertices in this middle one. Make sure I'll select, you can also go in the front view and stuff like that. If you don't get them all selected, like say if you select it like this, and these ones aren't unselected, check your ignore backfacing, because if ignore backfacing is on, it won't select them. However, if ignore backfacing is off, it will. All ignore backfacing does is say is, are you selecting this from the rear side of the normal or the rear side of the vertex? If you aren't, if it ignores backfacing, which it doesn't doing right now, it'll say, okay, you are going from the back, but who cares? You're backfacing, I'll still hit you. If you click ignore backfacing, it'll ignore anything that's facing your back. So if you select it, it'll be like, oh, you're facing my back, I'm going to ignore you. Just like, I don't know, I was going to make a bad pun there, or a bad joke there, but whatever. So yeah, now we'll just scale this out a bit. I'll say about maybe 15, 10%, yeah. So to 110, select these two. Scale them out just a touch more, so about 107. And there we go for that. And then we'll unset these top and bottom. Inset by 1 inch, that's good. And extrude by -0.5. Okay, -0.8. -1. There we go. And I kind of want the middle of the barrel to be a bit more rotund. Would that be the right word? Round, whatever that word is. So what about 105? Like again. And then we'll add more of these. So 103. And there we go. I'll move that over there. And we will look at that and look at all its beauty. So that is our barrel. But it's not done yet because we need to have the edges around it. So what we'll do then is loop these 3 things. Loop, chamfer them to about, because these are going to be the rings around it, 1.5. And, oh, you can also just go control click. Okay, shift click. Shift click, it'll get all of them in between, except for the middle ones for some reason. So just select all of them, and then we go extrude by local number, and out by 0.25. Out by 0.35. There we go, I like that better. And as you can tell, it's a pretty low poly barrel, but it does look like a barrel. At least I think it does. It's got the 3 rounds, and might need one around the top and one around the bottom, so that's easy enough to fix. Go to here, ring connect down to 1. Let's see if we can slide it. Yes, it works. So slide to about -50. And then we select these again. So control to hit a polygon, and then shift click a polygon to get the ring of them, and then control to select a new one, and then shift click to get another ring of them. Extrude, and then 0.35 again. And there we go for that. And now we will want to create a nice little like a top holder for the barrel or something, like for a little torus for the barrel. So that's easy. You just drag in a torus for a handle. Drag it over. And these things are quite large, so we'll just raise 1.4 and raise 0.5. Yeah, something like that. Throw it in front of the barrel. But we don't need all these segments. Like, that's just ridiculous. So we'll drop that down to 16, same as our what's it called, and drop this down to about 8 sides. It says still 256, but if we convert it to an level poly, go down to 128. And overall, we have a barrel now that is only less than 500 polygons. And if we were created with our turbo smooth way, which would have been a bit smoother, it would have been a lot more. However, I do want a bit more detail on this. So what I'm going to do is select this, loop, and we're going to scale it in a bit. So it's just kind of in the middle of that entire top ring. So right to about there. So scale it into about 97. And then move it up about 0.2. Move it up about 0.2. That just gives us a nice little top part like this. As you can see, it's kind of faceted. It's because you can see like these little facets in here. So what we want to do is we want to create our smoothing group. So we'll go under select polygon, select all the polygons, make sure they're all selected. As you can see, our smoothing groups are 1 and 4, but it's kind of screwed up, so we clear all of them. You can see they're all faceted now. Select all the polygons again and just make it one smoothing group. And that really screwed it up. So what we're going to do instead, I'm working with, yeah, those are 4, these are 1. These don't have one, so that's what we're going to do. Select all of these and hit 4 because I'm pretty sure that was one for the other ones. Yeah, these ones don't have one either because you can see in our polygon smoothing groups it doesn't have anything like that. So those are 4. These are a lot more important in modeling for games than it is for yeah, let me go nice smooth there. Than it is for our high poly renders, because in our high poly renders we just hit a mesh smooth or a turbo smooth and finishes it out nicely. So there we go. We got all our smoothing groups nicely set up because all of these rings are different than our barrel and then our top. And now what we're going to do is detach these so that it's easier for UV mapping. So we'll go with that, and then we'll select all these. Control select all these again. Control select these, and I want to detach these so there'll be a different different object and a different element when we unwrap the UVs. So we go here and then we unwrap, and yeah, I want these ones too. And we want all these 4. No, that didn't work out. Let's see this one. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, they don't want to work for me. So I'll just manually select these. Remember, I'm just using Shift to get the entire ring of polygons, and that'll give me the wrong way. But what I can do is just Control select all those and minimize that one. Control select all these and minimize that one. We'll get rid of that one. What I'm going to do now is go under my Edit Geometry and hit Detach. Now I don't want to attach to a new object. I want to attach to an element of this object. So I'll press OK. Oh, I didn't want to do that actually. So I'll do that. And I'll hit Grow once. Oh, that's what I was supposed to be doing. No wonder. And yeah, there we are. That's what I wanted to do. I'm just going to show you the grow quick thing. So get those two, get all those, and get that one. And I just need this one. Bear with me, guys. No, there we go. I need this one as well. That's what I was looking for. Because I'm only going to be able to grow it once because this other ones only have one to grow it on. And there's that one. There we go. And then we'll get these 3. And then we'll go up here and select this. So we go like that, and we'll hit grow once. And we'll select everything. And we'll detach to a new element, and we'll press OK. So now when we go into our poly, we have our elements. We have barrel area. I guess these broke up into their own elements. Doesn't really matter. Actually kind of does. I wonder why that broke up into their own elements. So what we really want is these to be together to nicely unwrap, and then we want these to be together to nicely unwrap. But it wasn't being nice to me. So, I don't know why. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to do it differently. Hopefully I can undo that. If not, well, we're not going to worry about it. Yeah. What you wanted to have is your separate elements, so like these would be the rings and everything, as separate elements. That would make sense. Let's detach these as their own object, and I'll show you what I mean. Attach as an object, object 01, and then this should, we'll detach that as an object, object 02, and as an object it'll be together as one. Which I know is strange, but no, it's not being together as one. Oh well. But that's the thing. We want to have two different, I'll attach that. We want to have two different objects. Yeah. And these are now all different elements of it, so when we add our UV mapping, it's easy to select those elements without having to create seams or anything. And we'll just link this to this, and there we go. And I'm just going to put a quick material on it. Materials, standard, just gray material, minus selection, and then put a black color on it so it's nice like that. And that will tell me that it's completed. So something like that. Alright, so next what we're going to do is create a nice little rock wall, because I want to. And this will be using a script called Rock Generator. I will link it below. It's a great script for creating like low poly rocks and everything like that. It does bake out ambient occlusion textures for you, but since we're not getting into that, we're not going to worry about that. So what we're going to do is once you have your script downloaded, save it right now. And we're going to use a script to run scripts, and it's going to be AA Rock Generator. It's going to pop up with this box. I think we've used it before, I don't remember that much. But this thing has a weird bug on my computer. If I hit low poly rock right away, I'm just going to show you the bug and then I'm going to go through it. It'll give me an unknown system exception and won't let me create anything. I know you can't hear it, but right now my system is beeping at me. So that might be your problem. If that's a problem with you, we can fix that easily. So right now we have our high poly rock settings and our low poly rock settings right here. Really, all I want to do is first just create a high poly rock. As you can see, it's right down here. They create them small, but I mean, they're procedurally created and they're very highly detailed, so you can scale them up and it doesn't really matter. But we don't want a high poly rock like that. And you can switch between basic rock boulders, eroded rocks, sand roses. I like that sand rose, that's kind of cool, isn't it? But we don't need those. Now we'll hit create low poly rock, and it'll pull out a UV map modifier. And there's our low poly rock. So I'll hide that selection. And scale it down a bit. And I don't think you can create it. No, see, you can't really change the detail of it. But now we have our rock created. It's nice, it's got some irregularities. It's this box that was spherified and then unwrapped. That's exactly what it was. And a bit of noise added to it. So now we'll create our wall from one rock. And you say, how can we do that? Well, I'll show you. It's very nice and easy. Or we can create another low poly rock. We'll create 3 low poly rocks, and we'll build it out from there. And it didn't create it very nicely for me, so I'm not worried now. Alright, so what we're going to do is add a noise modifier to this. Just, yeah, after the unwrap UV modifier. And we're going to shift select, drag one over, and shift drag another one over. This will be our 3 main rocks. This will just give us a bit of a difference to it. So we'll give it 5, 5, 5. Just like that, so it's a bit different. And then we'll just one fractal of 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. And we'll give it a random seed of like 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's where it goes, I guess. Now, and my door's open. Hee hee. You can probably hear that. What was I gonna say? Anyways, now we're just gonna modify these nice and easily until we get the correct size. So we'll go over here, zero that one out, zero this one out. That seed is really screwing it up for its spacing. Okay, I'm just not gonna give it a seed anymore. Pull this over, and we have our 3 basic rocks to play around with. So squish one rock, throw it about there, pull this rock a bit longer, squish down, squish in, add some irregularities, pull that one over, and just create a mesh for it. But you want to make sure though is you have a tileable texture at the end. So create 3 rocks high, and this will be our 2 rocks high actually. I don't want them any bigger than that. And this will be like to make sure that we tile it properly. And we'll drag you over, scale it down, scale it in like that, and rotate it a bit, and drop it in here, and just fill up your places with the rocks. And rock there, W over, yeah, something like that. Scale that one down, shift scale it down. Doesn't really matter if you shift scale it or shift drag it, just create a copy of it. Pull it out, give it a bit of irregularities. And create some more base mesh. That one. I think that's Chocobo music, I can't remember. And we go there. And then we pull this one up here. And we drop this one down here. And we drop that one over there like that. And drop that one down there. And as you can see, just keep creating more and more rocks through our wall. Drop that one in there like that. And I like this rock, so I'm going to pull it over here and rotate it vertically. Up like that. Pull that one in. R and rotate it up. Rotate it over. Keep just moving it in, moving it around until you're satisfied, and kind of satisfied that. I might want a smaller rock in here, so move this one over, make it a bit smaller, put it up there, and put another small one in here. Alright, turn around there. Oh, and I want a small one in here. Or the bottom of it. I mean, the bottom's going to clip through the plane, so it doesn't really matter what we do with it, but it's nice to have. So, pull that in there, something like that. And we have a rock wall. So, something like that. Then you select all of them, and you might think, well, why don't we just group them together? But we can't do that. What we need to do is first apply a material to them so the UV isn't lost, or add an edit poly modifier to them and just have the material still down at the bottom. So first what I'm just going to do, because we're going to be doing materials next week, I'm just going to group it so it's all one. And I missed that one. So there's group, attach, and it's the other way around for polygons. Group, attach, select the one that isn't attached, and then you attach it to a group. Right click on the tool, and there is our wall. And yeah, and it'll be hopefully nicely tiled, but we can easily check that out. I don't think it will actually. Drag it over like this. So what we do need is one more rock kind of up here. So we'll ungroup this one, group ungroup, and we'll take this small rock, drag it up, put it right in there, scale it in, and just on those two axes, like that. And then we'll throw this one right in there. Actually, we'll throw this one over here. So if this is the end, it actually makes sense. It's not just floating there. So select this one, delete it, and then group this up again. Group. There we go. That is our rock wall. As you can see through it. So we probably want to do actually group ungroup. So I forgot about doing this. Just select drag one back. Since this is the rear side of it, rotating it 180 both times. So you get the bottom and it's flipped around the other way. It'll look different, and yeah. It'll give you a nice look so when you look through it you see more rocks, you don't see like grass or nothing. Now we're done with that. Group. Alright. So you got barrel and some rocks. And I am going to do, I don't know, something that goes in games a lot. Can't do characters too well, sadly. But I can do, let's just do a chair, which is very easy. Like that. And chairs are like 18, I think, 18 width. Like 22. I think that's most chairs. 2 inches, we'll get rid of all these. And we'll convert to another poly. Ring connects. Flips over. Pinch it out. And my mouse is sticking. So 265 and ring connect. Pinch that out, same thing. And we'll go extrude these up 18 inches. These back too. And then we'll extrude these 3 down. I think 20 inches is the height. 24 is a 2 feet tall chair. I think it's 24 inches. No, can't be 20 inches. That's the chair height. Yeah, makes more sense to me. And then we'll select all these ones here and ring them, connect them just once. Let's see why just once. We'll chamfer them out 1 inch, which is good because it'll give us 2 inches on either side. And we'll select these 2 and these 2 and hit bridge. So we got something like that, and then we'll go back to back and we'll extrude these out 4 inches. We'll extrude them out 2.5. There we go, that's better. 2.5, select these 2, bridge them, and there you go. Cute little chair. I mean, you can change around and you can pull these back a bit, so it kind of, you know, looks a bit more comfortable. Pull these top ones back a touch too. And why not add just a headrest to it? Extrude that up a bit. Actually, no, I don't like it. I want to extrude these 2 things up a bit. Yeah, extrude them up like 5 inches. Nah, 2.5 is better. Something like that. I'm keeping these low poly because this is low poly modeling for games. And as you can see, we have 84,000 polys. But I honestly don't see where that 84 has come from. If we delete this guy out, we still have oh, I know why. Unhide all this stupid rocks in here. There, 7,000 polygons. This is our highest polygon thing, which is a rock wall. It's because each of these rocks is pretty high polygon. You could have dropped down the polygon count with the create the generator, but I mean 7,000 polygons for a brick of wall is not too bad. This is really good at 500 polygons for that and 114 polygons for that. So that'll be all those. And yeah, that's how you create low poly meshes for games, for just like small things that you might, small little accessories in your games. And yeah, so next week we'll go over unwrapping them, which is a much harder tutorial if I have the energy. I'm working a lot, but we'll see. So yeah, we'll go over that and creating your textures in Photoshop. That will be fun too. I think we'll do that in the 3rd week. So I hope you enjoyed our short little low polygon modeling, and see you next time.